Hi everyone, welcome back to Smartyink Workshop. This week I have made a Chucky full latex mask. So let's show you how we did that because I have not made a full mask yet on this channel. And now I have. So let's get to work. Thank you for joining me at the workshop in my endless quest to try to get good at mask making. I will let you all in on a little secret. Chucky used to scare the shit out of me when I was a little boy. And I used to pass it along to my sister, and we would all just run scared through the apartment thinking Chucky was everywhere we were. So I found great joy in making this mask. It has special meaning to me. This character is just fun, terrible, and beloved by all because he's just so Chucky. That's all I got. So thank you for joining me again on the making of this full mask. I'm super proud of it. The seam was pretty smooth and I thought I was gonna have a problem, but it worked out well. So check it out and let's get to work. So Charles Lee Ray, here we come. And so it begins once more by slicing my big block of clay evenly with a clay wire cutter and making sure that this Chucky mask is properly built up and even all around. I try to keep the slabs of clay that I cut around 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch thick. That way I don't get a gigantic floppy mask because we're not in that kind of business, are we? I've already inserted the acrylic eyes and we're going to build up some eyelids and some fat Chucky cheeks here. I am now using my rake kidney tool to smooth this sucker out because we all know that dolls are very smooth and that's what we are looking to achieve with this sculpture. Okay, I'm taking a step back and I'm realizing that this is starting to look like good old Chucky. So let's keep moving on and smoothing, adding, raking, filing, and pulling out the rest of our hair. It's honestly starting to feel like this sculpture is gonna bite my fingers, so I feel like I'm doing a good job. One thing I know, when I sculpt a doll sculpture, I will be raking and scraping for days. So let's keep on moving. I honestly could not live without my fine wire tool. Like, I don't know how anyone does it when they're not raking and scraping. It just kills me. So my advice for smoothing is wire tools and sponges. I am feeling super pleased with the result of the sculpt here. I did not record sculpting the back because who wants to see the head being smooth the whole time? So here we are. His eyes are masked and they are ready for molding. I've sprayed the sculpture as always with a clear gloss acrylic spray and have built a mold wall, which is very necessary when you do a 2-part mold. You must have a mold wall with pry points and keys for easy opening and easy locking in. I have to say that before I started to apply the plaster, I applied some PAM onto that mold wall with a brush so that the plaster comes off easier at the end. And we're gonna start off in the back so that I can lay this thing on its back and finish it after I'm done with that by applying the front. Now it's a little more tricky to apply a mold when it's a vertical mold, so it takes a little longer. Have a little more patience, maybe let the plaster thicken up a little bit more than you would before you start applying, just so it doesn't drip off of the thing and just waste. Nobody wants waste because every product we use is never cheap. You will see here that I am lubing up these eyes with some PAM once again so that the plaster does not stick to the eyeballs or ruin them. And I used it a few times and it works nicely. So use PAM, it's nice and cheap and it works awesomely well. It does not affect the plaster in any way. Also, I have to mention that I have built another mold wall towards the bottom of this sculpture so that the plaster has an end point. It has a nice finishing support. Okay, now that this mold has cured for about 3 hours, I'm back into the workshop and we're going to open it up and see what we have. Hopefully we have a nice, perfectly smooth mold because Chucky needs to be smooth. If not, we're going to be filling gaps and radial gaps and it's just not fun. So keep your fingers crossed. Oh, there it is. Super smooth. We got lucky. Sweet. Again, now you'll see why I line my forms before I do a sculpture, because I can just take a razor, slice right through the sculpture and the plastic, and presto, removed. Nice clean mold form at the end. So at this point I was feeling something not budging out, so we're going to give it one more deep slice around there and hopefully it just whoop, comes off. There it is. The mold is good to go. We can hose her down later and that's all the cleanup we have. So we're going to carefully remove our clay and put this mold back together. Let her cure and we're going to pour our mask and get a cool Chucky hopefully. And there he is. Success. Moving on, we're going to paint the skin tone with a nice doll flesh color using rubber cement paints that I make myself using rubber cement, thinner, and oil paint. The ratios are mentioned in other videos, so check them out for more info on that. Now I know that I can tint my latex prior to pouring a mask, so I don't have to use the flesh color or whatever, but I have a problem committing to, tinting my latex, so I'm not doing that. So thanks for the comments. into all the crevices with a deeper shade of flesh tone for Chucky, just to define his little areas, because he has a lot of crevices in that crafty little face of his. I've gone ahead and added some pink into his eyes and onto his cheeks, as well as his mouth, to get him more lifelike. And now we're gonna paint these eyeballs. But I don't like painting vertically, so we're gonna put him down onto a nice little flat surface and continue. As usual, I'm starting with the deepest shade of the eye that I'm gonna use, and from there we'll have a base to work on. Chucky has a particular sort of pattern to his eye, so I'm gonna do my best to follow that groove. Alright, it's time to start getting into the final details of this project, paint job, by doing some eyeliner on Chucky apparently, and some lashes and eyebrows, and of course the freckles. Yes, I am using a toothpick to apply freckles. Get into it. And we're gonna gloss him up with our 5-minute epoxy and see how this turns out. And here it is again, a toothpick, saving my life, because I'm cleaning up the 5-minute epoxy, making sure that there's no extra drippage around the eye. Here he is, all painted up and ready for some hair. So let's get to work. Let me know what you guys think of the paint job. I like it. Definitely is bringing me Chucky vibes, so there you have it. Alright, before I show you the final results with the hair and everything, let's head back to the workshop. Okay everyone, thank you again for joining me on the making of another mask. This time it was a full mask, and I hope you can all appreciate the artistry that went into making this sucker, because he was hard. But I enjoyed it, and I will continue to challenge myself, as we all should. Thank you for joining and watching and subscribing and sharing and ringing the bell. I truly appreciate it, and I will continue to bring you cool masks. If anybody has suggestions on what they want to see, whether it's scary or fun or whatever, leave it in the comments and we'll get to work. Otherwise, everyone take care, watch your back, because you never know who's lurking, and we'll see you again. Take care. Okay, I'm obsessed, guys. Please let me know what you think. I really like the way this turned out. So leave your comments down below so I can check them out. And check them out on Etsy, because he'll be up there soon.